a-tetewithdaseny.
Hello everyone, I'm Daseny and I welcome you to this week's episode of Tete with Daseny. Special thanks to those of you who reached out to me last week. I believe you can tell I'm sounding better. So if you're ready, I am ready and I hope you will enjoy today's ride. So we started a series called Get to Know Your Child Better, and last week we spoke about grow gratitude. This week we'll be talking about encouraging empathy. And empathy is the ability to understand the perspective of others, relate to their experiences, and then you show concern for their feelings. That's the nutshell of what empathy is all about. And empathy is an important part of emotional intelligence. Now, when you encourage your child or encouraging your child to develop empathy is important to both their relationship and to their future and current happiness. Yes, so it's a two-way thing. You're helping the child to be happy right now, and then in the future you're also helping the child to become a happier adult. Permit me to say that. Now, empathy, there are two types of empathy. We have emotional empathy, and it is the ability to feel someone else's emotions, experience the stress in response to their struggles, and then you respond with compassion. Then there are people that, okay, let me just go divert a bit. They can't see a movie that has to do with that has a sympathetic scene without them crying. They're not the ones actually acting the movie, but because that scene is very, very emotional, they get all emotional, and then you see them shedding tears. Now, I had a guest on one of my shows, and this person got so emotional because of the story we shared, and you could literally feel the person's emotion. Now, that's part of emotional empathy. And then we have cognitive empathy, and it is the ability to recognize the emotion of others and understand why they feel a certain way. Now, emotional empathy, I think cognitive empathy happens before emotional empathy. You're able to look at this particular person, or you look at your child, you can tell from the facial expression that something is wrong with this child, but you ask the child, is something wrong with you? And the child keeps saying no, but you know that something is wrong with this child, and then your emotional empathy will cause you to relate, cause you to go through the distress, cause you to experience what that child is experiencing. Now, after all being said about empathy and types of empathy and the importance of empathy, now how do you encourage empathy in children? The first and foremost thing is modeling. Yes, I love the fact that we as caregivers, as parents, as adults, we need to model the things we want to see in these children. Now, learn to talk about the way you feel. Learn to talk about your emotions to these children. If you're not happy, let them know you're not happy. If something is wrong, you may not be explicit about that situation, but let your child know that this is what is happening, and let them know how you feel, like I said earlier on. And then you can also name the emotions. Is either I am angry, is either I'm not happy. Like I told a child some days back, I'm not happy with you, and then the boy started crying. I was like, why are you crying? He said, because you said you're not happy with me. I said, okay, fine. Right now, I am happy with you. I'm going to be happy with you if you do the right thing. So you learn to name those emotions for these kids so that they can see it. And when they see it, it goes a very long way, actually. And then the second thing is, you should teach your child to respond with empathy to other kids if they behave badly towards them. Probably you can ask the child, why do you think this child reacted to you, or that the way the child did? And then your kid can come up with an excuse for that child. Okay, maybe he was sad, maybe he wasn't happy, or maybe he was so excited that he forgot I was sitting down there and then he splashed water on me. So you can help your kids to respond with empathy to other children's behavior. Now, if a child behaves this certain way to you, how do you respond? Are you going to fight back? Are you going to do an eye for an eye? No, you teach your child how you want your child to respond in certain situations and circumstances, of course, with empathy. Now, another thing, just as we adults love being praised, children too, they love that. Whenever you notice your child acting with empathy, encourage your child. Tell your child, well done. This was what I was expecting you to do. And you've done it. So congratulations, it means you're learning. So praise that child. And then the next time the child wants to even do better, yes. And then you validate your child's feeling. Now, validation in the sense that, okay, maybe your child got a low grade, or maybe your child did not pass his or her test. And then you'll be like, okay, yes, I know you were sad because you did not perform well. But hey, guess what? There's always another time for you to do better. So if your child is feeling down, you're there to point out the feelings to the child, and then you encourage the child. Yes, that's what is expected as parents, as caregivers, but just to help them. Of course, don't forget, we're modeling. So if you're telling your child you need to get back up, you as an adult, what do you do whenever you're down? Remember, these kids, they notice, they observe. And then the last but not the least, you play games, you read stories. Okay, games, you can draw a happy face, and then you ask the child, what face is this? And then the child points, this is a happy face, this is a sad face, this is an angry face, and then you read stories to these children, and at some point you take a pause and you be like, what do you think this person is feeling at this moment, or this character in the story is feeling? Is the person happy? Is the person sad? You're trying to guide their path into understanding the story, and also you're teaching them to become more empathetic. Yes. So if you do that, all these things I've mentioned, of course, there are a lot of things we can also do to help encourage empathy, but these are the few I'm able to mention. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. If you have comments, you can drop them, and be rest assured I'm going to respond. To have a lovely evening.